Hello, this is Bilal, your economic instructor, and today we are going to study MCQs for the chapter market failure. All right, let's get started. Oops. Okay, so the first MCQ is, what combination of characteristic describes a public good? All right, a public good is a good that is provided by the government. Now, this is an incomplete and incorrect definition. The correct definition is public good are goods which are non-excludable and non-rival. So it's a basic bookish definition, right? So the answer is C, right? What type of goods have to be financed by a government? All right, now this concept is also from public goods, because when a public good is provided by the private sector, there will be a free rider problem. People will use the goods and services, but we cannot charge them, or they can use it and not pay us. So we will be having losses. So private sector operates because of profits, and if there are no profits, they won't operate. So therefore, public goods such as street light should be provided by the government, right? So public good is the right answer. What is the most likely reason to increase government subsidies? Now, let's look at the option. To decrease the consumption of merit goods. Now, this is incorrect. Why is this incorrect? We would want to increase the consumption of merit goods. And subsidies, when subsidies are given, we can see in the graph, demand, supply, prices, quantity. A subsidy would increase the supply, hence the prices would decrease and the quantity would increase. So we would want to increase the quantities of merit goods. So this is the correct answer. We cannot decrease the consumption of demerit goods using subsidies, and we cannot increase the consumption of demerit goods, right? Now let's move on to the next MCQ. How are social costs calculated? So the formula for social cost is external cost plus private cost. Now we look at the options. A is incorrect. B is incorrect because benefits cannot be a part of social cost formula. C is correct, private cost plus external cost. And D is incorrect because this is the formula for private cost. Okay, moving on to the next MCQ. The diagram shows the market for petrol, gasoline. SP is the supply of petrol based on the private cost of petrol production, and S is the supply of petrol based on social cost of production. Now we can see that the private cost is SP and the social cost is SS, which means that we need to produce less for it to be socially optimum. So we can say that the distance between SP and SS is basically measuring the external cost, right? So which distance shows the market failure caused by petrol production? So it's basically from Q1 to Q2. This is the external cost, and this shows market failure. So for the fifth, the answer is C, right? Again, I'll explain the MCQ again. The distance between social cost and the private cost is external cost. So this distance measures external cost. And this is the amount of market failure. Always remember, the market failure is equal to external cost or external benefits. 6. Although some economists believe that resources should be allocated through market forces, market often fails. What might be an example of market failure? So We know the examples of market failure are externalities being ignored, public goods are not provided, demerit goods are overconsumed, merit goods are underconsumed, monopolies are charging higher prices. Now, if you're conceptually clear, we can look at the options and we can get the answers. Now, let's look at option A. Excess subsidized healthcare. Now, this is not market failure, but this is overcoming market failure. Therefore, it's incorrect. Monopoly pricing of electric supplies. So this means that we are charging higher prices, and this can be a market failure, but we need to look at all the options. Prohibiting cigarette smoking in public areas. So now this eliminates market failure. Regulation of interest rates charged by banks. Now, this has nothing to do with market failure because interest rates is a concept, but it's not associated with market failure. Hence, B is the right answer. A developer built some large houses in rural areas. Rural means villages, which poorer people could not afford. The houses destroyed an area of natural beauty. What type of market failure resulted from this development? Now, the houses are destroyed. The houses destroyed natural beauty. So this is basically an external cost, right? So let's look at the options. Ignoring external cost, A is the right answer, because if natural beauty is lost, the tourists will not come, and hence it's a cost to the third party. The tourists are not involved in the decision making, but they are being affected. So ignoring external cost. And because we are doing the chapter for market failure, options such as external cost, external benefits would rather be the answers rather than inequality of income and price discrimination, right? What is an example of market failure? Now we have two options, two questions with the same 8 and 9, right? So growth of competition, this is not market failure. Spreading of pollution, now this is market failure. Easy peasy, right? What is an example of market failure? City center congestion. Always remember, whenever there's a traffic jam, it's an example of market failure. Moving on, what is the definition of market failure? Now the basic definition of market failure is when the market forces fail to allocate the resources in the best possible manner. So market forces of demand and supply do not allocate resources efficiently, and that is the basic definition of market failure. I cannot give you logical examples for this because it's just a definition. 11, the demand and supply of bread. All right, a maximum price P1 is fixed by the government. Now this is correct. Maximum prices should be below the equilibrium. What is likely to be an immediate effect? Now we can see that this is my quantity supplied and this is my quantity demanded. We all know whenever a maximum price is imposed, the demand is greater, hence creating a shortage. All right, so there will be a shortage of bread. C is the correct answer. Moving on, imposing a maximum price for a good is an example of which type of government policy? It is a government intervention. It's not fiscal policy, it's not monetary. Fiscal has to do with government spending. Imposing a minimum price does not involve government spending. Monetary includes money supply and interest rates. Now this again is not included in maximum prices. And supply side policy is not maximum price. Maximum price is basically a regulation. You have to follow this or else you are penalized. The government decides to reduce air pollution in the city centers by giving financial assistance to bus companies, reducing their cost of production and prices for passenger. Which type of policy measure is this? Right now, they're reducing pollution and they're giving financial assistance. This means that it's a subsidy, right? So C is the right answer, right? So that's it. I hope you got most of your MCQs correct. Until next time, thank you.